Hello and welcome. My name is Tania Johnson. I am a registered psychologist, registered play therapist, co-founder of the Institute of Child Psychology, and also the co-author of the Parenting Handbook. Today, we're going to be talking about how to help our children with big feelings. We all know the scenario. It's been a long day. We're finally home from work, daycare activities. Somehow we've managed to get dinner into the oven, and our child comes to ask us for a snack. We say no because it's nearly dinner time, and suddenly we have war in our house. Whether it's kicking, screaming, sassy little comments, the tension in the house has changed completely. Be careful, because this is when a lot of the things that we may have experienced from our own parents start to bubble up. The angry eyes, the rigid posture, the demeaning tone. Despite our best intentions, we often end up repeating those patterns from our childhood, even though consciously it's not where we want to respond from. This is when we start to dish out punishments. Get into that timeout corner. Give me your iPad. You're not having that play date this weekend. You're going to bed right after dinner. Or we give rewards. Here's a sticker. Or mommy has a new toy in the cupboard that she hasn't given you yet. Let's get that out to play with. Or here, put on a show. Dinner will be ready soon. Take a minute to think about it. What do punishments and rewards teach kids? They teach us that when I have big feelings, they need to be stuffed down. That I need to hide things from mom and dad. That somebody else is always in control. Or that I get things that I want by acting out. None of these things promote problem solving, perspective taking, empathy. At the Institute, we're asked again and again and again, how do I nurture emotional resiliency in my child? It's right now. It's in these hard moments. It's the hard moments that our children learn the most about their parents and about themselves. These are the opportunities that we nurture executive functioning skills, that we nurture problem solving, perspective taking, being able to understand where a problem starts and where a problem ends, and that we have agency to control how big a problem becomes. So take a step back, and instead of defaulting to a timeout or taking away their iPad or giving them a reward, take a deep breath instead. You can shift generational patterns. Take that deep breath. If needed, we can move our child to a quieter space where there's no siblings, no TV, nobody watching, nothing that's too stimulating. So we move them to that quieter space, take a few deep breaths ourselves. I find it helpful to have a mantra. My mantra is always, be the calm, be the calm, be the calm, be the calm. Don't be the chaos, be the calm. And very often I'm just repeating that in my head. Get down on their level. When we stand above kids, cortisol increases, so we push them even further into a stress state. Get down on their level. Soften your face, soften your shoulders, soften your tone, soften your heart. Our kids need repeated experiences of co-regulation before they're ever able to self-regulate. What we do is far more important than what we say in these moments. And we want to say as little as possible. We may need to put in some limits to protect a sibling, to protect our child from hurting themselves, to protect furniture or other property in the house. But this is our time to zip our lips. I've found that the more you speak during this time, the more you actually need to repair later. We need our body to create a safe container for our kids. So we've moved them into a quieter space if needed. We're sitting with them down on their level. We're focusing on our breathing. Some children may need us to jump in and name their feelings. So we may say things like, "It's so frustrating for you when mom says no," or "Your heart is beating so quickly." Other kids don't do well with validation. So my little one always says, "Mom, don't use validation on me." With these kids, they often just need us to be in the same space, sometimes close by, sometimes a little further away. And then we wait. Don't teach. Right now, their brains are offline. This is not the time to teach. All we're doing is creating a safe harbor for our kids. When they're ready, I find it very helpful if there's time. We'll talk about what to do when there's not time. So we've sat with them, we've already used our body more than any words. We've named their feelings or not, depending on what works for them. And then we can move into a flow activity. It may be getting a hot chocolate together. It may be going for a walk. It may be doing Lego. What I love about Lego or coloring, going for a walk, going for a drive, is we sit side by side with our kids. Not opposite, which is very intimidating. We sit side by side. And then we just drop a little breadcrumb and we go, "Today was really hard." If they're not ready, they'll let us know. And then we wait. Don't push it. But if they are ready, they may go, "Yeah, today was really hard, Mom." It makes you so frustrated when I say no. "All I wanted was a snack." Yeah, all you wanted was a snack in that moment. So we're really trying to get the feelings, trying to talk about what was underneath the behavior for them. We might normalize a bit and say, sometimes mom gets really hangry too. And then as the conversation evolves, we can then say, "In our house, we don't have snacks right before dinner, but I'm wondering what may make it a little bit easier for you." And then start to think of some ideas. With our older kids, we can write those ideas down. We can offer ideas, get them to offer ideas, and then choose one idea. It may be that as soon as we get home, I have a little bit of a bigger snack so that I'm not so hungry by the time dinner arrives. Or perhaps it's, let's put off other activities and actually get dinner going quicker so that we eat earlier. Dr. Ross Green, who's done incredible work with collaborative problem solving, has shown that children as young as 3 can help with that problem solving process. This is how we raise resilient, emotionally intelligent kids. This is how we raise resilient, emotionally aware children. This is how we raise resilient, emotionally aware children. Children who will one day speak up in a boardroom instead of shutting down. Again, this is where our kids learn who we are. This is where they learn mom, dad, grandma can sit with me in uncomfortable moments. They can be with me during all of the messy moments, all of the beautiful moments. All feelings in our house are okay. Not all behaviors, but all feelings are okay. And what about those moments when we don't have time to sit, to do an activity with them, and to problem solve? Dr. Ross Green argues that parents always want to know, but what do I do in the moment? If we do enough collaborative problem solving with our kids outside of the moment, we wire them to become problem solvers. And in the moment matters less. In the moment, we do what we need to do. So maybe we do need to pick them up when they won't put their shoes on to go to daycare. Grab their shoes in the other hand and say, "Mommy's here. Daddy's here. I've got you. You really don't want to put your shoes on today." And we carry them to the car and we put them in the car. And in the car, while we're driving, we keep saying, "That was really hard. Or you really didn't want to put your shoes on today." We do what we need to do with the reminder that their regulation comes through our calm. That we stay calm in those moments. When we need to, perhaps we name their feeling and we say, as we're cooking, we get down and we go, oh, you really wanted a snack, and I said no, and you really wanted me to say yes. In our house, we don't have snacks before dinner. Come here and help me stir, and then perhaps we'll get dinner on the table quicker. So we see those feelings, we look for what's going on underneath their behavior, and we redirect their energy. There is no perfect formula. There is there is no perfect formula for in the moment, except that your child needs to know that you can handle their big feelings and that you are a safe person. For anyone who's interested, we have a full-length course on compassionate discipline that is probably one of my favorites. I'll link it in the description below. Thank you. I'll link it in the description below. Thanks for joining me.